Matt McClung wins the historic run on the dunk contest. Dunk contest. The USA just destroys Canada. And this one actually was made me feel really patriotic. And then William Byron wins the Daytona 500. We got a lot to unpack. This weekend was sports on the brain. It was amazing stuff happening. I don't know if you caught it all, but we're going to unpack it all this morning. Before we go any further, my name is Brandon Fogel. This is Evolution. This video is sponsored by HelloFresh, and let's just dive into it. Plans change and life gets busy. That's why HelloFresh lets you easily customize your delivery from week to week. Mix and match lifestyle options to suit your needs, like fit and wholesome, family-friendly, quick and easy, vegetarian, and more. And everything can be tailored to your schedule by adjusting your delivery date, and even skipping a week when you're not able to cook at home. As the seasons change, so do their seasonal menus, which highlight peak ingredients and flavors for every season. You should check out HelloFresh. Click the link below. As well, you should check out the Podcast Studios store and our website. My wife has been working on a lot of things in the Podcast Studios store, so you should check it out. There's a lot of good stuff in there, as well as Podcast Studios mugs. You should check those out. They just make the coffee, whatever you're putting in there, tastes better for some reason. I don't know what it is. All right, so let's just dive into it. The big one of the weekend. I mean, there's a lot of big ones of the weekend, but for me, it was the Matt McClung, the historic three-peat. I mean, and this is a white boy. This is a white boy winning the dunk contest. Which, I mean, I try not to see anything through color. But I mean, that to me is kind of crazy that he's winning the dunk contest 3 years in a row. I mean, it is what it is. But let's just take a look at it real quick. And I mean, if you caught any of it, it was just bananas. It was crazy. All right, here we go.
Dig deep in the bag. No,
going over the car, the big part of the hood, which is awesome. No, not many people can do that. I don't think I could. This one, I mean, he made a couple amazing ones. This was the one that stood out the most to me, which was just crazy. All right. So Matt McClung winning the dunk contest. I don't know. So I've been in hibernation with basketball for a while now. So it's kind of weird for me talking about it. But I mean, I like I said last week, I am a player driven person, and if the guys that are out on the court that can bring people to the game, which is awesome. I mean, that's the one that's going to put like butts in the seats and eyes glued onto it. A guy like this doing this 3 years in a row, and then what topped it all off for me, he wins it, humble about it, and he gives all glory to God, which was awesome. He gives all glory to God, and then they're saying, "Are you going to come back next year?" He says, "I think I'm done. We'll just see. I'll sit back, have some time to think about it. If people want me back enough, I'll think about it." Which, hey, you know. I mean, it's awesome that somebody winning the dunk contest, but I mean, to challenge, because they some of the announcers were saying to Vince Carter, who was also on the panel as well, because you could arguably say Vince Carter all-time best dunker ever. You could say that. I mean, I always lean towards Michael Jordan because I'm a little biased as the best all-time dunker, but the guy on the panel was saying to Vince Carter, he's challenging you. As saying about this Mac McClung, I don't know. Could this be something to draw people back into NBA? It definitely could not hurt. It's actually bringing me back. I think the NBA has a lot of things to improve, a lot of things to work on, and to make it a place that is like it was. Bring it back to early 2000s and even 90s. I mean, how there was something in those moments in that time and time period, which was just. It was different. It's a lot different than it is today. Today, it's I don't know. It is that political. It got political and nasty. The NFL got political and nasty for a while, but then they backed off and they understood they're not going to go the crazy direction like Bud Light did, and completely destroy their brand. I think Bud Light is coming back. Whatever, you can think about what you think about that. I think it's trying to kind of like fix everything, bandage itself up, and make it America's drink again. But you can say like the NFL was smart enough to let's not completely ostracize more than half of the country that just believes in good, wholesome values and cares about our country, is patriotic. Don't freaking kneel for the national anthem. I mean, if you're anybody out there, don't kneel for the national anthem. That's stupid. Don't do that. I mean, that makes me almost want to throw up so many times, especially our Olympic athletes go out there and they're representing our country and they're kneeling. What do you think about that? I don't know. As you can see, I have pretty strong opinions about that. But quickly moving forward, the Daytona 500, Donald Trump makes an appearance at the Daytona. He went to the Super Bowl, which people argued about. Like, I don't know why that's such a big deal. Him, the seated president going to the Super Bowl. I mean, he's a man of the people. He goes to the Daytona 500. The hard working class individuals that are out there, and he puts his face out there, and he's saying this is what America is about. NASCAR, I want to get more into it. I'm like not in it as much as I'd like to be. There's a lot of things I'd like to be more into, and NASCAR is actually one of them. And knowing what is actually happening, why is it so? What are the storylines that are going on in NASCAR? Because to me, if you just sit back, it's loud. People are looking for explosions, looking for crashes, and who are these like guys driving? Who are they? Because I mean, you don't see them that much. You don't see they're in a car and they got helmets on. You don't know who they are, and they all kind of blend together. They all kind of run together. Like what? Like there's so much more happening that like a NASCAR fellow out there that knows a lot about this stuff, like. Going into the pit stop, is that like, there's a lot of things happening that we just like take for granted. We're sitting back like, why can't they just fix a car and set it on its way? But it is like a well-oiled machine that is like out there. These guys that are just going, and then like a lot of these crew members, they don't even get any like accolades, any praise. They're just guys. They're like the offensive line of the best team in the NFL. That's like we don't recognize who they are. But I mean, there's a lot more than just that person. But the person that won it was William Byron. Oh, I'd like to learn more about this guy. He seems pretty interesting. So William Byron takes home the Daytona 500. Who was your favorite? I mean, I think of the Dale Earnhardt's Juniors and Dale Earnhardt. I think about those guys. There's faces of NASCAR that like stand out to me, and it's nice to see when a new face or like somebody that maybe William Byron's probably not a new face. As you can see, I'm like not as fluent in NASCAR as I am in some other sports, which I would love to be. But like it is, you want to. I need a face. I need a face to the sport to like connect it and know how like. That's what's going to bring people. That's what's going to bring more of the audience and like reach across the lines. So Donald Trump going there, I think that was a pretty good deal as well. Let's see what he has to say.
They have a lot of courage doing this. It's I see it, and I've been here, and they have a lot of guts, as they would say.
Mr. President, enjoy your time.
Thank you very much. Great.
Bye.
And then we'll quickly move forward to. I mean, you could like I went back and forth. Mac McClung, and the USA Canada situation. Were you all following this? What was happening? It started out with Canada booing our national anthem. I know I mean, people that are at a sports game, you would think that they are the ones that like they're the boots on the ground, people that like kind of get it. And if that's what people in Canada are getting and booing our national anthem, are you upset a bit against Trump? Are you upset against tariffs? Are you upset against 51st state? I mean, there's a lot there, and I love Canada. I think I wasn't planning on going on this, but I think some of the funnest people come out of Canada. I always go to the best actors, the funniest actors, you know, I go to funny. It's like the funny. If you think of a superstar funny actor, or even a singer, you know, I go Bieber, baby, like who I love, you know. These guys are Canadian. These guys who came out of their, I don't know what they got in the water up in Canada that is able to put out such like if you think of somebody funny that you love and love to watch and that just drives you to the movies, there's probably a 90% chance that that actor is Canadian. For some reason, I don't know what it is. I have always said the best actors come out of Canada. The best storylines come out of the UK for some reason, but they all do it, and they put it on set, and they make it happen. You make it happen in the United States. So it's this three-way matrix that is just happening before our eyes, you know. But we cannot forget that Canada is amazing, and they're our neighbors to the north. You know, they could be our brothers, Americans. You know, come on, become Americans. You know, become that 51st state. Is that controversial? Do you disagree with that? Do you not want Canada to be a 51st state? If you're Canadian, do you disagree with wanting to be a 51st state? Is that just a political grenade just lobbed out there by Donald Trump, just throwing it out there, and people like don't want anything to do with it? Or is it something that could legitimately happen? I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot there, a lot to unpack. But the USA, they beat Canada, you know, on the brightest stage when things were happening that I don't even know how to describe it. Like the fans booing, and then Canada goes off to an early lead. They take the 1-0 lead, and it seems like USA could just kind of, we can't actually do this. This isn't our sport. This isn't our thing. We're in over our heads. But heck no, they like got into 3 fights in the first 10 minutes, and they just knocked Canada off their rocker, you know, and just went at them at their sport. Because you could argue hockey is Canada's sport, but it made me feel like I don't want to feel like prideful, because, you know, pride comes before a fall. But it's tough, you know, because I think we can be, you know, into our country, you know, patriotic. And I think we should be. I think that in itself is biblical. You should be patriotic for your country, you know. There is that sense. You know, pray for your nation. Pray for the good of your nation. So, but there's a lot there. I don't know what you all think about all that. It is controversial in a sense, because I don't want to at all be like, oh, I'm American, we're so awesome, you know, we're the kings of the planet. Whereas we're not that. And if we start being like that, there will be a humbling, a very huge humbling. So we got to be aware of that. But it's still, I think we still should be patriotic and like proud of our boys out there. Whether it's our veterans, our fighters that are just on the front line in other countries, just protecting our countries, our soldiers, or even our sports teams that are out there, you know, not bending the knee in our national anthem, but proud of our country and doing amazing things for our country. Good job, USA, you know, hockey team. Way to go. You did amazing. You represented. You did a great job. You know, be proud of that, you know. So we'll leave it at that. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week as we get going, you know, as we get going. All right, peace.
Yeah, I'm in $1 million.